Hi, I'm Lai. Welcome to Discount Dive, the show where we don't say rhino, we say yes. It's all about that positive attitude. I'd say it's been an odd couple years for Rhinox. Despite appearing in a big Hollywood blockbuster, it's debated whether or not he even had a line. We'll clear the way! Well, you know, unless you count. And as far as toys representing that appearance, you get one that's kind of accurate. Not that you would know. Again, he barely showed up in the movie. But overall, not great. I'd say he's definitely the most underwhelming of the Maximals, as much as I have a soft spot for the figure. And unfortunately, he has a handful of his own soft spots, if you know what I'm talking about. His leg flaps could use a little bit of rhinoceros Viagra. Or if you're not rocking with Studio Series, you can go for an incredible figure that feels great, transforms, is fun to pose, and kind of looks like poop. Not even in a quality way. It's kind of just a gross brown. And if you're a Beast Wars fan, you apparently received one of the worst toys in the entire Kingdom line. Aside from Earthrise RC, I cannot think of another singular War for Cybertron figure that was more hated than this. And the proof is in the pudding, because it did not sell well. I see this thing shelf warming at secondhand shops still, and it is pretty widely discounted online. But with BBTS's semi-recent sale, $13 felt like just the right price to buy for a discount dive. I'm a pretty big fan of Rhinox. If I remember correctly, I listed him as the most competent Maximal, and I stand by that. There is nobody better than him. And I do have the Thrilling 30 toy, so if I don't like this, I can always just, you know, sell it for like 10 bucks to someone. So let's see how the plastic does him. See if it does him justice, or if it does him dirty. Me personally, I would just like to do him, whatever. You can't tell by the crickets chirping in the background. Can you hear that? It's a little bit late in the evening, so if any of my jokes don't land, blame that. Alrighty, he's looking very squat. Those are the proportions we love for Rhinox. Immediately, I'm liking the look of him more than the Thrilling 31. It is obviously a pretty dated figure at this point, simply because it, you know, came out in... Jesus, like 2014. But this feels more on model for him. Feels like, ooh, actually solid plastic all around. I'm surprised that the horns aren't, I mean, they feel a little bit softer. That doesn't feel bad. Good impression so far. Kingdom famously has a lot of issues with yellowing, and I can't really tell if that's the case here, or if it was always just slightly different shades of green. Like this is kind of a limier looking green than this one. It's very minor. It doesn't bother me. I forgot to bring my nippers. What's a girl gonna do without nippers? Nip, nip. He does come with his iconic spinning blades. He does what with his iconic spinning blades? Don't judge him. He's under a lot of stress. Again, most competent Maximal. Hello? I need to sharpen these? Do I need a new pair? Can you sharpen nippers? All my nip heads, what do I do? Not feeling as clean as it used to. Or maybe I'm just going too far back on it. The gloves are falling apart. The nippers are blunted. Might be time for a reboot. Oh, wait, is there still another one in there? They're very desperate to keep this unpopular figure in its box. All right, immediately, this is pretty loosey-goosey. Not loving the feeling of that, but I can always put some goo in it. Isn't that rap group, the 50 Cent one? What are we stuck on? Is it just this part is not coming out? Oh, there's a... Stupid. There we go. All right. Little hollowy-bollowy. That's okay. Doesn't necessarily make it bad. On the lighter end, maybe a little heavier than this one. Although this one feels heavier because it's denser, because it's smaller. You know what I'm talking about? What is she gabbing about? Both arms feel pretty loosey-goosey. Ooh, almost forgot about the special character card. Why did they pack in a random character with each one instead of just like making it the character that's in the Dinobot? Okay. Rodent. What does he sound like? Oh, wait, are they completely static? It looks like two parts, but there is no movement. Does not feel, doesn't feel like it wants to come off. That is a bummer, especially compared to this. I love these. I could actually touch them. POV incels talking about women. Ugh. That's a little bit of a bummer, but maybe the figure's still good. No wrist. Okay, it's trash. Due to the transformation, it looks like he can get a little bit of butterfly. That's kind of cool. Also very fitting for his character. I don't know if he specifically does this at any point, but he, you know, he seems like the type. Gotta stop messing around, Cheeto. Stop lusting after black arachnids. It's an uncomfortable character. Little bit of tilt on the head. Very nice head, very handsome head. It captures his look well. Does it get any backward? Yeah, it gets some backward movement too. 86 Optimus and Megatron Who. Swivel right above the knee. And these little flaps are on their own slight swivels, so you can shimmy them out of the way if you need to. Pretty effective ankle pivot. And in spite of the guns being a bummer with no play feature, you can get him stanced up pretty well. I'm liking this. There's a lot of dynamism in this. Does he have a waist? He does have a waist. He's pretty much up to par with modern RTK articulation, which I guess he is technically a modern figure. He's literally a modern figure. I don't know what I'm talking about. It hasn't been that long since Kingdom. But aside from wrists, he's got all the articulation you could ask for. If I remember correctly, the thing that people do take actual issue with is the transformation. Apparently there's some unfun steps in it. So I guess it should, my phone's falling. I guess it is my job as the reviewer to dive into those minds. Let's see what we're cooking with here. Hopefully won't need the instructions. I mean, it's a mainline figure from Kingdom, but imagine it's on the more straightforward end. I don't mind this being a faux piece, by the way. I have no issue with faux pieces, especially for Beast Wars. Like, how else are you going to accomplish it? The CGI models cannot be translated directly to plastic, especially not at a mainline price point. So this does not bother me whatsoever. Ooh, and then does it like, okay, hold on. Judging by these hinges, it like folds back in, but I don't have the clearance to do that. It seems today that all you pee is blood. Ooh, okay, never mind. I did have the clearance to do it. Easy. Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's a neat trick. That rhinox chest of yours. Something hairy. Okay, so there's not like entirely enough clearance to get past this, but it's the softer plastic, so it's not like a rubbery plastic, but it is more flexible, so you can just easy peasy. Okay, mostly easy, slightly peasy. A little funky getting it closed. You kind of have to finagle the hand in while you're doing it, but that's okay. So far, so okay. Okay. So I think you fold it partially in, and then you can collapse it together. Easy. Yeah, like that. Is it the chest where people started taking issue? Started taking umbrage? This compresses in. You just gotta get it underneath that sculpted fleshy rhino piece. They didn't necessarily leave enough clearance, it appeared. No, they did. You can just finagle it in. I'm suspicious because so far it's a pretty solid transformation, and I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Please tell me nobody's counting shoes. All we got left is the back half. Is this where it gets funky? I thought he had a wheel. I thought he had a little wheel here. I was about to be so pogged, as if that would make any sense. Seeing a ball joint, that looks like the rhino leg. Rotate. And this pops out here. Hold on, I think I might have missed this step. I'm pretty sure these come up in some fashion. Otherwise, why would they be on sliders like that? Not sliders, but you know, little struts of sorts. I wouldn't mind watching Rhinox strut his stuff. He is a baddie. So this is a limited swivel, but what is it doing? What are we doing? What were they thinking? No, they were thinking they were gonna do a cool transformation. I'm hopeful that I'm just misunderstanding this and that perhaps I just need to consult the instructions. Or not, I'm a genius. I'm a goddess, maybe. The robot feet just kind of store inside there, and then you just gotta find a way to get it all closed up. Yeah, dipped in Mama Liz's rhinox oil. This seems to be the only place where there's a little bit of clearance issue, really. Perhaps I just haven't aligned it properly. Like that continuity, the eponymous continuity. The most overglazed part of Transformers media ever. Actually, no, that might be Armada. I really like Diaclona videos. I just wish you wouldn't rage bait so much. That's what the point of the channel is, I hate to tell you. Nah, we're here for fun. We're here for fun and good toys, which I want to believe this can be. I want to believe. I just haven't found the one secret trick that all doctors hate, where the hot MILFs in your area, etc. Hold on. Okay, so I will grant to this figure's detractors, the motion to get the leg properly aligned is very unnatural, pretty antithetical to general Transformers design sensibilities. Let's see if I can recreate it with this leg. If you do it just right though, which I don't think is too difficult once you know what you're doing, I don't think you have to flex anything. It honestly doesn't feel bad. It's definitely a clearance issue, but I don't think that breaks this figure. And I don't think it will break the figure over time, especially because they picked the softer plastic in there. Like the palm, I think, ABS, I don't know. It's whichever one is softer. It was specifically used for the strut that would need to flex if you did it wrong. If you dropped it like a freaking idiot, Lois, holy crap. Flip open that part and then move this down so you have more space to work with. Then the magic happens. Oh, 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 it's magic. You know. Please don't call my mama home. What's different on this side? It feels tighter. Oh no, we're good. This goes up here. Okay, it's a little creakier on this side. Did it need to pop into place? Am I misunderstanding what just happened? Whatever. Nothing's broken. Shout out to editing me. I know that if something is going to break, she would have just put in the H Bomber Guy clip there.
Foreshadowing is
This goes in there. And once you get this in, that frees up the room you need to get this clear of this. This is the real sticking point. But if you do a little bit of pushing it that way while pushing it this way, you can just about clear it. So as long as you're like shimmying it, it shouldn't force it. I don't think this is as bad as a lot of people say it is. Like, yes, it is heavy on the panels, but I am also a defender of panel formers. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if it's done well. This feels very intelligent in spite of that one difficult step. Like the way all of the alt mode compresses into the robot mode. It's very good engineering. Just need to finagle it. Okay, now what are we stuck on now? Oh, this needs to, okay, yes. This needs to be rotated so that that tab can go into that peg hole, tab hole, and then just, oh, he's so slippery. Why can't he be more ribbed for my pleasure? And then I think you just, and is that it? Oh, we gotta pop this in. I guess we didn't align that right initially. Hold on. 1 sec. Come on, that's a pretty handsome rhino mode. There's a little bit of dry brushing to highlight all of the nice texture work on it. And judging by this empty chasm in his, well, in the opposing pegs here, I'm pretty confident that there is a way to store it inside. Ooh, yeah, there's peg holes on the inside here. Hold on, I can do that. No problem. I didn't quite get it aligned, but also there's enough open space. Is there enough open space in there? Yeah. So I didn't really get it lined up where it's supposed to be, but there's so much open space in his pubis that it's not even a problem. A little rattly, yeah, but this is good. I like this. I am quite a fan of this. I'm gonna run it back off camera without the gloves just to see how it goes. Look, I'm absolutely the first in line to hate on a bad transformation, but I don't think that's what this is. He's very involved, yes. Should there have been a little more clearance on the back panel there? Absolutely. But if you do it right, if you wiggle it just the right way, you're not stretching plastic, you're not stressing plastic, the materials were made with the transformation in mind. It's an involved transformation, but I think it's a good one. And I think this is a good figure. If I'd gotten it for MSRP, it's a little lightweight, a little undersized. For MSRP, I definitely would have hoped for the weapons to spin, so that's a bummer. But especially at current market value, $10 to $15 each, this is a steal. I am very happy with this. Not as fun as that one, not as lame as that one. This is a nice middle ground. He definitely looks the best of any of them. This scratches the Beast Wars Rhinox itch for me, for sure. And until Robot Toys comes out with one, I think this is my definitive one, because I'm sure as heck, pardon my French, not getting the Masterpiece one. Definitely worth it. Overhated, underhyped. He deserves better. If you're a Beast Wars fan, I'd say pick him up. I'm pretty fond of him. I want a big rhinoceros for Halloween, and by rhinoceros, you know I mean my peen.